Day 3, Cottonwood Canyon State Park, northeastern Oregon, just off the Columbia River. It's a pretty nice canyon, really nice campground, really well maintained, bathrooms, group areas, pretty nice deal. We slept up top last night, where night 1 we slept on the bed, fold out bed here. This is way better than this, let me tell you. Main reason for that is you don't have to keep moving all your bags and your stuff around. Each time you kind of set up shop and change what you're doing, from cooking, from chilling, from sleeping, there's oftentimes you have to move a whole bunch of stuff around. So really nice to sleep up here and just be out of the way, keep the seats all set up, and just have your stuff here. We're having some great coffee and we're hitting the road. So below, we've slept in a van for 2 nights now.
Two nights.
My goodness. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. Last night's rest was awesome. We got to sleep up top, which was a lot more convenient than putting all of the seats down. We didn't have to move our luggage or anything. Just popped up the top, pulled the bed down, and made it up there. Heat also rises, so it was a little bit toastier than it was the night before. But the springs, I was really happy with the firmness of the bed. Super cozy.
Bed was super comfortable. For these Peace Vans, is they have a really great heater that runs off a separate battery than the van. So the heat was super warm all night.
Yes.
Hot van tip number 3.
Nice.
Throw your trash away, and when you first get in the van, start a trash bag. Peace Vans gives you some trash bags, but if you have a grocery bag or something, start a trash bag, because like the putting your shit away, is your trash will just somehow accumulate in some really weird spots. So find a designated spot and just throw it in.
There's lots of little nooks and crannies in the van, and I've realized that my gum wrapper is all over the place. A tissue might be here or there, so the trash bag and constantly making sure that you're putting the trash in one spot is super helpful. Keeps the place nice and tidy.
Onward. So the plan for today is, we don't really know where we're going to end up, but we are heading southeast through Oregon, and we're going to stop by the Painted Hills, which is a beautiful part of Oregon, really nice natural layers and natural structure, and we might get to Boise, we might not, we're just going to figure it out. Seattle, and actually Pike Place. They have a stall in Pike Place Market. If you're visiting, make sure to stop by, but they're available in grocery stores. We all know what Greek yogurt is now, but this is like the real deal Greek yogurt, high fat, super tasty. Like it's yogurt crack. It's real so good.
Yogurt crack, pretty much what it is. It's pretty addicting. This also brings us to hot van tip. Passenger is a sidekick. I'm your helping hand. Driver doesn't do anything but drive. He wants a bite of anything, she wants a bite of anything. You give them a bite. Don't let them hold the yogurt. Have them keep 2 hands on the wheel, but make sure that they're still getting some sustenance. If they need water, they can ask for it, they can demand it. And you, as the driver or passenger sidekick, have to do it.
But also for navigation, sidekick is navigator, DJ, jack of all trades. Really important to keep it safe.
Pretty much a co-pilot.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you're in the Northwest, try Elenos. It is like phenomenal. Other flavors they have are like seasonal stuff like Marionberry, lemon curd, pumpkin pie. I don't know. Check them out. It's like super good.
I'm really happy with the passion fruit. It's a good one. Over now. So if you're looking for something to do while you're on a road trip, you can make some butter.
Butter?
Yes, butter. All you need to do to make some butter is grab some heavy whipping cream. It's a carton of heavy whipping cream. Some salt. And a jar. And just a little bit of time.
And one little tip on the jar. We had some ice cream last night, but make sure that your receptacle is threaded and has a tight top, or else this is going to be a terrible time.
Yeah. So I'm going to get to it.
Because it is butter.
Okay, so at the halfway mark, you saw that the cream was nice and creamy. It looked like spreadable butter, but it wasn't done yet. We shook it for about 3-4 more minutes, and it started to get hard, and it ended up looking like this. There's some liquid in the bottom that we'll need to pour out. That's actually some buttermilk. You can save it for later. But right now we've got some nice, actual butter-looking butter.
Butter-looking butter.
Butter-looking butter.
It's awesome.
Does it taste like butter?
It tastes like butter.
Yeah, it does. All right. So the next step is to pour out the liquid that's in here and discard that.
And you've got butter.
Put it on some toast.
So if you want a fun thing to do on your road trip that will not eat up a lot of time, make some butter.
Entertains adults as well as kids.
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so we just passed through John Bailey, Oregon, and finally hit some slightly plowed roads here. It looked like it snowed overnight. There were a bunch of kids sledding, and we were driving about 5 miles per hour down some, the left side of the road here. That's pretty much what we were driving through. So keeping it safe and not recording, driving nice and slow and focusing. But man, am I very happy to see the pavement. Thanks to Peace Vans for some traction tires, we were able to stay nice and safe on the roads. It's definitely something you might hit on your winter road trip, so make sure that you have all of the safety gear on hand. Chains if needed. Snow tires are always a plus. But onward we go.
Good morning. It's the beginning of day 4 on the road. We're in Unity, Oregon. And as you can see, we're at the lovely Burnt River Market gas station. Why we're here is because the roads were a little treacherous last night. We were able to pull off and sleep in the back lot of this gas station. Nice folks in Unity were able to let us use some of their land to stay safe, get off the road. But it's part of a road trip. It's figured out as you go. But also the good thing about having a nice camper van is that it's warm, it's safe. So overall we're doing pretty good. But onward to Boise. We are somewhere in Eastern Oregon on the way to Boise, back for some more hot man tips. So, hot man tip number is do your dishes and do them now. Similar to put your shit away and do it now is do the dishes, just take the extra few minutes to do it now.
Don't let your oatmeal get caked onto your pan.
You're just making more work for yourself, and the dishes are gonna clank around somewhere. So do the dishes, do them now, and put them away. Hot man tip.
Bring something to do. You're not always gonna have reception out on the road, so you won't be able to poke around on your phone. It's helpful to pass the time to bring a book, bring a paper and pen, bring knitting needles, or in my case, hand sewing. It's a good way to pass the time on the road. Nothing too involved. Keeps you entertained.
But just bring something to do, and poking on your phone is fun, but when it's not available for half a day or a day, you can stare at each other for a while, but it's nice to have something to do. Hot man tip number, water. So there is a water reservoir for the sink in the van, but make sure you bring a couple bottles of water and or buy like one of those gallon containers of water. Preferably bring that because it's nice not to have so much plastic. But you'll be surprised at how much water you go through, both drinking, boiling water for coffee, and washing. So make sure you have enough receptacles for water and fill that up.
Make sure any chance you get to fill them up that you do, because you don't know if the next town is going to be 70 miles away or just a stone's throw, depending on where you're going, of course.
Or if you don't know that the campground, the water has been turned off for the season, or something like that happened to us last night. So just make sure you have enough water. We made it to Idaho. Here's an Idaho fun fact for you. So for all you folks that like your frozen french fries, the Ore-Ida brand is actually a combination of Oregon and Idaho.
What?
I just found this out a couple weeks ago and my mind is blown, tater blown.
Makes sense. We just passed the Ore-Ida facility on the border of Oregon and Idaho.
There you go, potato fun fact. no trees, a bunch of rolling farm hills. Well, wouldn't even call them hills. A whole lot of wheat is grown out here.
Very picturesque farmhouses off on the distance.
But there's a whole lot of nothing. Hey yo, Chef Corso, we're here in Cle Elum, Washington, like right in the middle of the state, at one of the best hidden gems that I've ever found, Owen's Meats. They have a great tagline. It's the candy store for the carnivore.
And you can't beat our meats.
And you can't beat our meat. That's fantastic. I just loaded up on some awesome stuff that they have, and every time I come through Cle Elum, I stop by because it's just the best. So what I got here is some fresh summer sausage, some homemade jerky.
What?
Wow, that looks the real deal.
Slab of jerky.
Oh, awesome.
I want some of that.
A pile of lanyangers. And a lanyarder, loosely translated, is land hunter or walking meat stick. Think of this as like the best Slim Jim you've ever had. It's actually fermented beef and pork into a dry meat stick. Super amazing stuff. You'll never go back to store-bought jerky again. But then, arguably, the best stuff that they offer is called the good stuff, which is bits of jerky, summer sausage, pepperoni stick, and cheese cubes. Seriously, I could just eat this for like 2-3 days in a row. So good. So the other thing about Owen's Meats is that you can't buy any of this stuff on the internet. So make sure you make a point to come by Cle Elum, Owen's Meats, get some really great tasty meat snacks. I'm sorry, vegetarians and vegans, this is just really, really good. The other cool part about this part of Cle Elum is it's kind of the best intersection ever, where you have Mike's Tavern over here, great hole in the wall, and then Cle Elum Bakery, which has some great breakfast and baked goods. Besides all this super tasty meat. Sorry, I got a bunch of meat in my mouth. Oh man, seriously, this is so good. Besides all this meat, they also have a meat and cheese vending machine. So if you come here and it's after hours, you can still grab some of their great meat. Cle Elum, Washington, Owen's Meats. Give it a whirl. Hot man tip number 8. Cook. Cook already, man. Cook. You're gone for 7-8 days. A diner is great. It's great to find the little finds in these little towns, but
drive-thrus are awesome. They're super convenient.
But you
what's more convenient? Cooking.
But you can't eat out every day. You have a stove back here. You have a small refrigerator. You also have a portable camp stove of some kind. Like, cook. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just cook. Cook something amazing. Eat it outside. All right, Moel.
All right, Corso.
We've got like 15-20 miles left on our journey. Going home to Seattle in our Peace Van. And how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's a beautiful, clear, sunny day today.
And would you recommend taking a van out for like a week, 10 days, 2 weeks?
Oh my God. my goodness, yes. If we could do this in the wintertime, going through, a snowstorm that we went through, we had some traction tires that we really needed to use, which was great to have. But if we could do it in the wintertime and stay nice and cozy in here, stay nice and warm, and still be able to get outside every day, I think that I would hands down do this again in spring, summertime, fall, and actually be able to utilize, a lot more outdoor space.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we've lucked out a little bit on the weather for this trip, where I don't even think I used my rain jacket. So that's pretty.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
That's pretty helpful. But you can do this in the winter. But if it's a nice spring week or sometime in August, like this is a treat. You can have the pop top tent open, the breeze going through.
Have a patio, sit on the patio every day.
Yeah.
That'd be delightful.
But I would say if you haven't rented a van or taken a van trip or a road trip, take one. There's a lot of pretty stuff out there. Plan out a couple things that you want to do and destinations that you want to get to, and then just let the road take you the rest of the way.
Absolutely. It's amazing too how nice and toasty this van was. Every time we stopped and started cooking dinner or lunch, anytime we were heading to bed, the heater in the back made this all so cozy. Stayed up playing cards a couple of nights. I felt really comfortable in this van the whole time. It was great.
Totally agree. It was really quite toasty, and that's a really nice luxury when the temperature outside dips pretty chilly. Doesn't really help when you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, but nevertheless. So this is the end of our journey. It's been a delightful, so sad, but it's time to get back to reality. I guess. But get out there.
Get out there, guys.
Mont y Boca.